Hi and welcome back to MRTV. Meta Connect 22 has happened, at least the keynote. And well, we have found out about this here. This is the Quest Pro. Well, no surprises at all, right? We heard about that. We had all the leaks from Bradley. We heard it's going to be expensive. We heard the $1,500 price. And yes, everything has happened just as we had expected it. Of course, we all had kind of waited for that surprise, for that peek at Quest 3, or probably for the display port on the Quest Pro. Something, but unfortunately we didn't get it. But we're getting a very sexy and sleek, in my opinion, headset here from Meta, the Quest Pro. So, well, let's together in this stream look at the specs, and some content creators had the chance to actually try out the Quest Pro. And well, since I was not one of them, unfortunately, Meta, I'm simply going to watch their videos together with you, and I'm going to react at what we see there. And we're going to react at their first reactions of the Quest Pro. And then hopefully they will watch this video and then react on my reactions to their reactions. Oh my goodness, it is a glitch in the matrix. It is going to be really fun, I think. So that's what we're going to do in this stream. So hello everybody who's out there. Great to see you. We are indeed live. Hussein X, JS, number of things. All of you are here. Great. So let's have some fun. Let's find out about the Quest Pro. So before we react and watch the videos, let's have a look at the specs, because actually not everything that was leaked was correct. So let's have a look at the Quest Pro specs. First of all, resolution 1800 by 1920 per eye. LCD panels. Now that already is actually quite a surprise for me, because according to the leaks, oh no, I didn't want to do this. According to the leaks, we were looking at 2160 by 2160 pixel per eye displays, right? Like the Pico here that I have here. Let me put the Quest here. And let me put the Pico here, so it's always watching what's happening here. So, yeah, well, so this is a surprise. We have exactly the same resolution like the Quest 2. And I did not expect this. I truly, truly did not expect this. Then we have 72 Hertz and 90 Hertz. So, yeah, that is also not the 120 Hertz of the Quest 2. Pancake lenses that we expected. Field of view claimed, we see on Rotary VR, 106 degrees horizontal and 96 vertical. So that horizontally would be bigger than the Pico 4. That's interesting to see. We have continuous IPD adjustment, and we have eye relief. That is interesting. So eye relief is something that we did not expect. IPD adjustment 55 to 75, that is good. We have this new Snapdragon XR2 Plus, which in the presentation they said is 50% faster. So that is definitely something. We have 12 gigabyte of RAM, 256 gigabyte of storage. We have a USB-C connector. We have 722 gram, which is kind of heavy. We have a battery life of 1 to 2 hours. Wow, that is really not a lot, right? That is really not a lot. And somebody in chat, Adrian, it was you, Adrian, who said the controllers also only have 1 to 2 hours battery life. Is that true? Is that truly true, or were you making fun of me? We have to find out in all the videos that we're going to watch. Yeah. Then, inside-out tracking, expression tracking. Okay, we have eyes and face tracking. Okay, everything that we watched here. Disco VR, Tetiana is here. Great. We're going to watch your video. You want to react to your own video? Let me know. You could join me if you want as well, of course. Wait, let me, if you want, I'm going to send to you here how to join. If you want to join me, I'm gonna send it to the Discord. If you want to join and react to your own video, which is funny though. So here you are, and yeah, this is a live show. Everything can happen. We never know what's gonna happen. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, we have a microphone, and we have pass-through, and we have $1,500 price point. Yeah. So we did hope, of course, for a surprise, but we did not get it. We did not get a surprise. So, yeah, this is not for us, my dear friends. This is not for us. This is not for us gamers. This is for business. This is truly a business headset, right? This is something that would replace, a HoloLens 2, most probably. So, for that scenario, right, for the companies who are going to use it to replace the HoloLens 2, actually, $1,500 is a steal. And now, I'm really happy to have Tetiana here. Wow, this is so cool.
Hello.
I totally didn't expect it. Tetiana, how are you
Hi.
doing?
I'm doing good. I'm exhausted,
I totally
completely
get it.
drained. I did want to stop by, kind of say hi. I'm not going
Okay.
to stay for the whole
Okay.
stream. I actually
Sure.
didn't plan on. I didn't know you sent me a link, but I thought I would stop by and
I love
just
it.
kind of share some of the excitement or disappointment, depending on what you expected from this headset. And
Yeah,
I'm
it's great that
just
you're
here for a
here.
little bit.
Perfect. So let me
Thank you.
maximize the time that we have with you. So you are one of the few people who have actually tried it out. And first of all, congratulations! Like from the whole world, only a couple of few people tried it, and you're one of them. That's amazing.
Thank you.
And yeah. So everyone who's watching this, please subscribe to Tetiana's channel. It's an amazing channel called Disco VR. And yeah, do tell me now, how is it like to look through this headset? Is it a big step up from the Quest 2? That's my first question, I believe.
Yes, to answer simply, it is visually, it is a big step up, which I know it's hard to believe it when you look at the resolution.
Yeah, I was
It's not
so
a very
surprised
impressive
about it.
resolution.
It's like the same,
Yes,
but the lenses
but
make the difference.
they achieve this through, this really cool clarity that what you see through the lenses due to the pixel density. They have this incredible pixel density. I think they
Okay.
increased it by 30% from Quest, because that was exactly my question. I'm like, what's the resolution on this headset?
Yeah, right.
And the woman was
Exactly.
like, well, it's this, but before you say something, what you see is better than what it sounds, because
Okay.
we have this incredible pixel density, and it is very, very noticeable in that all the little text very sharp.
Okay.
And the sweet spot, that's something that was, like, I was really happy about it, that I
Pancake
could,
lenses. You're right.
like, I
Right.
could have this, like, really nice view that everything is sharp on the most of the areas that you're looking at. You don't have to adjust it. Like, I've put like 80% of the footage that I received in my video, and not once can you see me adjusting my headset.
That
I
is
actually just
beautiful.
now realized it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I never had to, like, adjust it or find the right place. I never touched the headset after I put it on, and that was pretty incredible.
Cool. Also, tell us about the FOV, because it seems like on paper it looks like it has more FOV. Did you feel like it's like noticeable as compared to the Quest 2?
Yes, of course. It
Okay.
was better. I haven't had a chance to try Pico. I know that Pico is having a slightly higher FOV. I will try it soon, thanks to your link
Yeah.
and your recommendation to get it from it.
Yeah, great. Yeah, everyone who wants to get the Pico
So,
4 in the States, watch my video about it.
yeah, I understand they are not focusing on the US market right now, but I
Yeah.
don't care. I just
Yeah,
I
I
want
think
it.
lots of
It's all
people will
about
just buy it. Yeah. Anyways.
Yes. So it didn't bother me. So I know I've tried Quest 2, and then the last headset I tried was Pimax at KX, and that's like
Right.
really hard to compete with. So it was, of course, it was closer to Quest, but it was very hard for me to really focus on it because like 90% of all the apps that I tried were XR experiences. So
Okay.
in most of the apps that I got to test, I actually could see the real world, and in some of them I wouldn't even have any light blockers because they said it's better if you see a real world, like you can see your keyboard, you can
Yeah, for
like
mixed reality,
see.
absolutely. That makes sense.
Yeah, so honestly, FOV is not something I was even thinking about when I was
Okay.
testing the
Got
headset.
it.
They were trying their best to help to have us focus on other things.
So you were not
But
you were not wearing those blinders. You can I
no,
mean
it didn't feel like I was wearing a ski mask. It didn't
no,
feel like that at all. No,
but
it was definitely better.
okay, but I mean like there is this accessory where the light is being blocked. You
Yes.
didn't have that on, right?
No, I have some of the
Oh, you had.
experiences. I did
Okay.
have them on both sides, but
Okay.
it was partial blinder. So as you know, the
Right.
partial light blocker is coming in the box. But if you want this fully immersive experience, that's an
That's an
external
extra.
accessory that
Ah,
you'll need to buy
okay.
for $49.99 US.
Okay, they will earn some good money. Ah, I got it. So the
Yeah,
partial blockers are in the box.
they are. Yes,
Okay,
at
good. Good to
least that
know.
you
That
get.
that is a relief. That is a relief.
Yes, yes, you get them. They're not perfect,
Okay.
but I think that. And I'm trying to think back when I got Quest 2, it didn't come with any covers, it just had a facial interface. It also had a gap by the nose.
Okay, got it. And how about the
So
colors? Now, it is an LCD panel as well, but they have these local dimming zones. Did you see like the blacks are blacker than on the Quest 2? Or can you remember that? Did you look
they
at that?
didn't give us any apps like that.
Oh,
Like I wanted
no.
to try Saints
Okay,
and
I got
Sinners.
it.
I wanted to try, I don't
Right,
know,
right.
Resident something.
They
It
didn't let
was
you they didn't let
crazy.
you play this, right?
It's like, yeah, really this for I mean, I love the apps that they got us to try, and it was cool to meet the developers, but I didn't get to try any of like fully immersive experiences. Like, I was watching that review video of PlayStation VR 2, and it was
Right.
all about immersive gaming.
Exactly. Like
Yeah,
this is
it
not for
was.
gamers. This is not for gamers, it seems.
It's not for gamers, but I
S-
am a gamer
Yeah,
that
yeah,
could
yeah,
give
me
us one.
too.
So no, that the colors, yeah, was really, it's really hard for me to think back at it,
I totally
especially
get it.
because I couldn't have it side by side, like through the lens. I like doing through the lens, but I couldn't even compare it like right away because they were mixed reality experiences, and sadly I can't like, talk more about it for
I
now.
got it. I got it. Yeah. So, how was comfort?
Oh man, okay, I'm gonna not to try and get myself in trouble. So you will see it in the video
Yeah. Okay, I will react soon. Yeah.
that the kind of the cushion that goes on the top and on the back, it's kind of the same material.
hmm
It's pretty firm.
Okay.
Like it's not as soft as some of the third-party straps that come with it. So it's
Okay.
like almost like memory foam type. I don't know.
All right.
Um, and so when it sits on your head, it's actually pretty comfortable. So I put it on and I thought, okay, like with Quest 2, it needs to be really secure in the head. So I was tightening it and tightening and tightening and
Right.
tightening, and it would keep
Sure.
going. I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
really? Okay.
At some point, I think I did it way too much.
Got it.
And
So you
after
had a
about
very, very
30
close
minutes,
fit.
I didn't have to do this much. Like I told you, I never had to
Right.
adjust it. It
hmm
doesn't have to be
hmm
such a strong fit. So when I tightened it so much, I had like a really bad red mark.
Right.
So it's gonna take some time adjusting, finding the right comfort setting where it doesn't hurt I mean, it didn't hurt me. I didn't like feel like it's hurting me, but my skin is very sensitive. Like
Right.
I bruise easily, and I guess irritated quickly. So I got a red mark quickly from any kind of VR headsets. But after I loosened it up, was fine. I didn't have that red mark anymore, and yeah, I didn't have to adjust it. I would have to, like, when I have it here in my studio, I would have to try some more active games
Of course.
and see if I can get away with looser fit, or if it
Right.
has to be this tight. So far, it was pretty comfortable. Like I was
hmm
shocked.
Okay.
at how little adjustments I had to make.
Okay, cool. That sounds good.
Especially like now I can talk about this.
Yes.
Oh my god, this
Finally, you can let it all out now.
I can let it all out. So like this headset, the one that I tested, it doesn't have like you can't adjust the headset and the
Ah,
strap like
okay.
this.
Yes.
It's all like a
It's all
solid
fixed.
piece, all
Yeah.
fixed. And that's what really concerned me at first, because
But then
that
you
means
found
less
out it will work
flexibility.
out. Okay. Got it. You know what I'm also excited about? I want to know about the controllers because could you feel like the force feedback? Is it force feedback or is it rumble? What is the haptic feedback on those controllers?
Um, so it's definitely more. It's a very fine experience, like very fine tuned to tiniest little things that you do in VR. So as you know, the controller had like a little stylus tip at the back.
Yeah, this is cool if you want to ride with it.
No,
Yeah,
let's
really,
not talk
I mean
about
it.
that.
I really, actually,
How
for
often did you have to write something? Like,
yeah,
tell me,
yeah,
in like
yeah,
5 years, how
Okay,
many
okay.
times did you write
I
something?
totally get it, but I'm just thinking about this actual business application, right? When you are
Mhm.
like in this virtual meeting with some people, and then you write something on the board. I do believe it might make sense, but of course, obviously not for us gamers. But anyways,
Yeah, you're probably right. We didn't use it for businesses like this, so it's probably
right,
makes sense. So the controller is smaller than this, so it's actually
smaller.
thinner.
Okay,
Because if you try to write with your Quest 2 controller, it's not the best sort of fit. But when I tried with the controllers on Quest Pro, it was kind of like writing with a very thick marker. Like I
okay,
have
got it.
written with markers that were this thick, that are kind
Right.
of unusually thick. But because I was reading some comments, and there are people who are skeptical, like there's no way that you can be like agile, you would write the same way. No, I would write and I could recognize my handwriting. So
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I was writing the way I would in real
Right.
life, and I could feel the feedback when I was writing.
Okay.
It was very fine. Uh, and I think there was another application where I would hang pictures on the wall. So any kind of tiny interactions that would be reflected here in a much more fine-tuned way that here
Okay.
wasn't
So
rumbling.
some kind of, is it more like an HD kind of rumble, or is it like the PS5 controller where you really have force feedback? Is
No,
the trigger
I
force feedback or?
didn't check that. Didn't feel the forced feedback on that app, but they
Okay.
had a demo app that again, why wouldn't they release it? Like, I got to try some apps that were made for developers,
Yeah.
and they
Right.
would not be released.
Okay.
I don't understand this, because some of them were really cool. I would take like, I don't know, a plastic ball in my hand or an egg, and I could grip, like I could squeeze it,
Yeah.
and I could feel a little bit of a forced feedback before it breaks.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But it's very subtle.
Interesting.
It's very
Wow.
subtle.
Interesting. Really interesting. Yeah. So I just read your message also in the chat when I asked, does the controller really only have 1.5 hours of battery life? I think that is, wow, that is kind of like, yeah, not so much, right?
Terrible.
That is
It's
kind of
terrible.
terrible. Yeah.
When
Wow.
you're
This is
sitting, so
crazy.
what they were saying is, if this is the headset that's designed for like businesses and work, then you probably will be sitting and working at your computer some of the time, so you can connect your headset to the computer. They didn't say anything about the controllers.
This is
It, it
insane. No,
it
really.
just
I
feels
think this
like
is insane.
last time I had to play with the controllers that were tethered was in my PlayStation 1, which
Yeah.
is, by the way,
Okay.
right there.
You should tether your controllers. Wow.
But the controllers have USB-C port, just
Okay.
like the headset. So
So you
technically,
need
they made it
some
possible.
battery power pack probably if you want to use them for a long time. So yeah, immersed robot. Hi Gary. Gary is asking, interesting question. Was the pass-through quality good enough for compelling AR?
Yeah, compelling. Define compelling AR.
I mean, tell us about the pass-through. The the pass-through. Is it good? Is
Mhm.
it, how's the 3D?
Um, felt so much more like dimension, multi-dimension that it was in Quest 2. Like, especially
Okay.
because I'm coming from Quest 2, not even from Pico. Sadly, I will be comparing that, but it is stereoscopic. And all the experiences that you would see there, they would incorporate this, what is it called? I'm blanking. Scene understanding.
Okay.
So this technology can scan and understand the 3D geometry of the room. So it understands walls, it understands surfaces, ceilings, floor. So this understanding is passed on to the 3D objects or 3D characters that can interact with these real life objects. And that's why when I was trying these 3D experiences, I could see that there is this 3D map on my real desk. Or there was a painting that I made hanging on my wall.
Got it.
Or there's like a little robot walking on my table. So yeah, it felt definitely more like real because of that. As for the color, though, maybe I overhyped it for myself. They didn't feel as saturated and real to me. Like I could still see that it's a projection. It's not like what you see in even like your iPhone camera. It almost felt like the color was overlaid on top of the black and white.
Because it is.
Because it is.
Because it is.
You can see it. Like I could see the black and white outline of my pants. If you saw the video, I was wearing bright red pants.
Yeah.
Not by accident. And actually, yeah, so you couldn't see it in pass-through. Of course, they wouldn't allow me to record. But even if they did allow me to record, I wouldn't be able to because pass-through can't be recorded on this headset either, which doesn't make sense to me at all.
All right. Yeah, then you have to do it through the lens. That's what I will do when I get the device.
SideQuest.
Or with SideQuest. Okay, then yeah, with SideQuest everything goes. That is good news. Yeah, cool. So controllers, yeah, I think I've asked you the most pressing questions right now.
Thank you. And again, I will come back. This is just a quick kind of.
Exactly. We will have a talk about this on the Next Dimension podcast. So we should not take everything away right now. Right. So yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much, Tetiana, for jumping on the show now spontaneously.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
you will probably proceed watching the videos.
I will watch your videos now, all from the others. So that's going to be interesting. One more question: audio. How was the audio like? Is it like Questish or how was the audio like?
Audio. So yeah, see, another one that's a tricky one because it was pretty loud in the room.
I got it. Yes,
and
we have to wait for it. Yeah,
I can talk about is about the actual volume. It was really loud, even with the loud, like the room, the people that were doing their things and testing different apps, because there are 6 different apps, and we were all people who were present, but they were rotating, so they were talking and sharing their impressions, but I couldn't put it like too high. I had to constantly lower it down because I need to talk to the developers. I needed to like interact with them, but the volume is great. And they do have a not third party actually, official like earbuds that they're selling for $50.
Yeah.
I don't really know why you have to spend $50.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. It does not have a 3.5 millimeters headphone jack, right?
Okay, so no, it should, because the 2 headphones that have been installed, they have those 3.5 millimeter jacks each. So they're both connecting on both sides. So yeah, they do.
Should have. Right. Okay. Yeah, good. Yeah, thanks so much, Tetiana, for your impressions.
I hope that was good enough for a quick glimpse.
That was amazing. That was really amazing. So,
I'm glad I caught it. I thought that you would be streaming tomorrow. I didn't realize you'd be streaming right now after we chatted.
Exactly. So cool.
Wow, he's fast. He never sleeps.
I cannot sleep now. It's too exciting. I need to get
myself.
everything now and tell the people about it.
I haven't slept for 3 days, man.
I totally get it.
I'm so hyper. So I don't know how I also streamed it today. So I tried to be like civil during my stream. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm probably gonna sleep.
Sleep and
thank you for
thanks
inviting me.
You're welcome. And again, congrats to the amazing opportunity that you had, and looking forward to our chat on the Next Dimension podcast.
Thank you,
Tetiana. Bye bye. Yeah, so exciting. So exciting to directly hear from Tetiana. And yeah, so it's interesting to find out that the controllers really only have 1 or 2 hours battery life. That is quite interesting. Let's say it like this. Anyways, now I'm going to react to her video. I'm going to react to all the other videos, and let's extract as many information as we can from all these videos. So now let's start with Tetiana's video. So let's watch it and let's react together.
A couple weeks ago, I was lucky to be invited to New York for an exclusive hands-on presentation of the newest VR headset from Meta, Quest Pro. I got to learn more about this long-awaited headset directly from the Meta product team and got to try several VR experiences during a 2-hour-long hands-on demo session. And today, I'm finally able to share with you my early first impressions from trying the new hardware, checking out some of the new features, and testing 4 VR applications. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, as very soon I will be covering Meta Quest Pro in much more detail so that I can help you decide whether this is the next VR headset that you should buy. First, I'll go over the major specs of Quest Pro before jumping in with my personal impressions and experiences testing this headset. Meta Quest Pro is definitely stepping up in its specs and features compared to its predecessor. It's smaller but somewhat heavier than Quest 2, however, it feels better balanced because of its first ever curved cell battery located at the back of the head strap to better conform with the shape of the head and provide an overall a more balanced experience. And yes, because the battery is located at the back, there will be no options for third-party straps. In fact, the head strap is not detachable from the headset whatsoever. It's all one solid piece.
Wow, that is interesting. It's one solid piece of hardware. Okay, so no third-party stuff. This is how it is.
Pro features pancake lenses, 2 LCD panels, 1800 by 1920 pixels per eye, but the amazingly sharp image that I saw was achieved not thanks to the resolution, but pixel density. Quest Pro features 37% more pixels per inch and 10% more pixels per degree than Quest 2, and that makes the whole difference as the sweet spot was really large and I could easily read even the smallest text while wearing the headset. I was told that compared to Quest 2, it has 25% improvement in full field visual sharpness in the center view and 50% improvement in the peripheral region. Quest Pro runs at 72 and 90 Hz with 106.
Okay, let's talk about the visuals. So Tetiana also said before that they look much better than Quest 2, and well, because of the pixel density and because of the lenses. Makes sense. So looking forward to try that out.
6 degrees horizontal and 96 degrees vertical FOVs. It's not a very large FOV, but I will address it later in this review as to why they might not have gone all the way in terms of the FOV. The IPD adjustment is continuous but mechanical. However, thanks to the eye tracking technology, it features an automatic IPD adjustment software which tells you when your IPD setting is at the optimal level.
Okay, so that's interesting. There's an automatic IPD setting where they will check are your eyes in the right position. But then you will have to do it manually, but at least that is something pretty good.
I will talk more about it later in this video when I discuss the headset's comfort. A little bit more about the hardware. Quest Pro comes with the only storage option of 256GB, 12GB RAM. There are 10 sensors that allow both virtual and mixed realities, and the brand new Snapdragon XR2 Plus platform, which is optimized for VR to run at 50% more power than Quest 2. Unfortunately, this power doesn't come for free, and based on how actively you use this headset, it will run only for 1 to 2 hours. And Meta does not offer any official accessories to extend the battery life.
That indeed is really disappointing, and I don't know, Bobo VR to the rescue, but most probably gamers are not going to pick this up.
Seems like the perfect opportunity for third-party sellers. Quest Pro will be sold for $14.99 from the Meta store and also from Amazon, Best Buy, and a few other Meta's retail partners.
And that is also quite a bummer for us Europeans, like 1,800 euros. Wow, 1,800 euros. That is quite a lot. Can buy 4 Pico 4s, right?
Some key features of this product that make it stand out are full color mixed reality pass-through, natural facial expressions and eye tracking, and self-tracking controllers. I will talk about my first impressions testing these and other features, my experience trying some VR apps, and my final thoughts about this headset. It was pretty incredible to see my surroundings in full color pass-through for the first time. Meta Quest Pro's high-resolution outward-facing cameras have 4 times more pixels than the cameras on Quest 2, which allows a much greater fidelity when recreating the environment in VR. Unlike the monoscopic pass-through on Quest 2, Quest Pro features stereoscopic mixed reality pass-through to create a natural view of the world.
You know what is interesting? This looks exactly like the Lynx R1 demo. Like exactly the same thing.
In 3D. This resulted in a higher quality, better depth perception, and fewer visual distortions, although it still didn't look quite like the real life and I could still notice some occasional distortions. They weren't nearly as noticeable as the pass-through distortions on Quest 2. The color pass-through achieved on Quest Pro definitely makes you feel more present in the real world, and the mixed reality experiences felt more real because of that as well. After testing several of those apps for about an hour, I got so used to the pass-through that a few times I caught myself perceiving it as the real world without really thinking that I'm wearing the headset, and I think that that's exactly what Quest Pro developers try to achieve. I couldn't stop thinking about all the mixed reality experiences that I'll be able to have in this headset. All the apps that already exist on App Lab and SideQuest will now have a completely different level of immersion when tried with this high-fidelity, colorful pass-through. One thing that I found disappointing though is when asked if color pass-through can now be captured using the recording, I was told that no, unfortunately, you still cannot record the pass-through mode on your Quest, which doesn't make sense to me at all. If they're pushing Quest Pro as a mixed reality first headset, then why wouldn't they make it easy for users to record their mixed reality experiences directly in their headset? They probably
Totally agreed. Totally agreed. It's a bit strange that you cannot, record the pass-through.
have done it for privacy reasons so that you can't record your home environment, but I just find it really strange that the selling point of this headset cannot be captured within this headset.
Right.
Face tracking and eye tracking technology to me was the most impressive part of the whole demo. Quest Pro features 5 infrared eye and face tracking sensors capable of a 120-degree field of view each, arranged to capture your upper and lower facial movements. As a result, my avatar could mimic some pretty impressive details in facial expressions.
This part, I must tell you, I am really excited about. I believe it's going to be so interesting to meet somebody in VR and have this turned on. It must be so much better, so nice.
Such as mouth, eyes, and even eyebrow movements, showing a wide array of emotions. An interesting point to note is that face and eye tracking on Quest Pro is disabled by default, and you will have an option to enable it if you want to when you're first setting up your Quest Pro. For now, the main use case for both face and eye tracking is social apps. The one I got to try was Horizon Workrooms, but there are so many directions eye tracking technology can be used in game development. Imagine a game in which you can break windows just by looking at them. You may have seen that in the PlayStation VR 2 trailer, eye tracking was used to make a quick selection in the menu. This kind of eye tracking based UI can be easily done in Quest Pro, but unfortunately at launch there are no VR apps that take advantage of eye and face tracking in such creative ways. The most fun I've had while playing with eye
Just looking at the device, somehow it does look a bit bigger than I thought it would on a face. Do you also have the same impression watching this hands-on video? Do let me know in the chat.
tracking was during the calibration steps. To calibrate eye tracking on Quest Pro, all you need to do is follow this shiny orb with your eyes moving around in a circle for about 10 seconds. After that, you can test your eye calibration by moving this flying orb with just your gaze. That was my first experience with eye tracking technology and it felt like magic. I was disappointed that there were no eye tracking specific demo apps available to users at launch to showcase this cool technology, but I can't wait to see what developers will come up with soon. Regarding content, one thing is important to understand for everyone who considers buying Quest Pro is that this headset aims to take VR beyond gaming and entertainment and towards productivity and collaboration. The word collaborate was mentioned many times during the presentation. For example, one of the apps that I got to try was the new version of Horizon Workrooms optimized for Quest.
This really looks impressive. I think the avatars, how they, how you can see the facial expressions. That looks great.
Pro. I made a separate video showcasing my detailed hands-on experiences with all VR apps I demoed during the hands-on presentation, so go ahead and watch it if you'd like. However, of the 4 VR apps that I tried, none were fully immersive VR games, like the ones showcased during the PlayStation VR 2 demo. Based on my experience, it was very clear that the goal of Meta with Quest Pro was to deliver a high-end headset made for productivity, creativity, and collaboration, but not hardcore VR gaming. Quest Pro will support PC VR gaming via link cable and Airlink, but unfortunately does not feature a display port. As such, I do not view Quest Pro as a direct competitor to hardcore gaming headsets like PlayStation VR 2. Rather, it's a less expensive but a more powerful solution to professional-grade headsets like HoloLens 2. But of course, Quest Pro can do both work and play. Quest Pro will be backwards compatible with Quest 2, and all Quest 2 apps currently available on the store will work with Quest Pro as well. There are no exclusive apps for this headset for now, but I expect that there might be in the future, especially if developers use eye tracking technology as an integral part of the gameplay. I also managed to confirm that side-loading will be supported by Quest Pro, which is great news for SideQuest and for us. But what about comfort? The headset features a halo-type design without the top strap, looking very similar to HoloLens 2 design, and with these rather firm rubbery cushions in the front and in the back. They feel almost a little bit sticky because of
So HoloLens 2 is actually a really comfortable device.
The material made to stay securely on your skin and not slip off. There's a familiar gear on the back to tighten the headset, and I must say the first couple of times I put it on, I tightened it way too much, which resulted in this unpleasant red mark on my forehead.
This is
it didn't
so
feel
interesting.
as uncomfortable as it looks, but I was told that I could get away with
Tetiana
less
looks
tightening
surprised.
in the back. I think that this will take some adjustment to find the right setting
Like
for you
what?
to secure Quest Pro on your head without ruining your face. Although the IPD adjustment
And by the way, I must really give credits to Tetiana that she's showing this to us, right? I'm very sure many other creators having had this chance to show this as one of the first people that she showed that. Wow, like really, big respect to Tetiana. I love that part.
Is mechanical. Thanks to the eye tracking technology, it has a built-in IPD optimizer, meaning that as you physically move the lenses, the software automatically analyzes your IPD and notifies you the second you've set your IPD to the correct distance. This is not quite as good as an automatic IPD adjuster because you still have to physically move the lenses with your hands, but still, you would be surprised to see how many people suffer from subpar visuals because of the incorrectly set IPD, and this technology proves to be useful to guarantee the clearest and sharpest image for any user. A few words about the self-tracking rechargeable controllers. They now allow a full 360
The controllers do look a bit fat though, right?
360-degree range of motion, and the tracking of these controllers felt great. I could even put them completely behind my back or my head, and there are absolutely no blind spots for tracking, which is definitely a huge upgrade from Quest 2. And no tracking rings means much lower chances of you damaging your controllers or your TV. Instead of using batteries, these controllers are now rechargeable, and you can charge them using the charging dock that comes in the box. Quest Pro comes with
Okay, so you can only charge them with a charging dock. Now, that makes it a bit hard if you want to use some power bank, right? To charge them while you're using them. Yeah, or did I get that wrong? So the controllers have only 1 to 2 hours battery life, and you can only recharge them on that thing. All right.
the partial light blockers. They will block the light coming from the sides of the headset, but leave the gap close to your nose. This definitely will break.
Okay, so these are the blinders that are in the box. All right. Yep, it does look like there's lots of space here on the nose, right? Which is, well, they're not good for VR. Oh, they have USB-C ports. Okay, good. Good. Thank you, Tetiana. Thank you for letting me know. I love your video, by the way. I just praised you for showing us
VR
everything
immersion.
here.
But I think that
Oh, but the lenses do look nice. I mean, they are not as big as the Pico lenses, but this clarity. Oh, I like it.
Design was made to accommodate people who will be using this headset for productivity rather than gaming, because while using mixed reality, you don't really need to be completely blocked from your reality. In fact, all 4 VR apps that I tried during the presentation incorporated mixed reality, and with some of them I didn't even have to use light blockers at all. The developers tried to make Quest Pro a headset that will help you be productive while at the same time present in the real world, while in gaming headsets it's the opposite. The goal is to completely isolate you from the reality. So the not so impressive FOV and partial light blockers are just another proof that this headset is not meant to be a gaming first headset, which I understand will be a big disappointment for many users who were expecting a hardcore gaming headset from Meta. While I'm sure that the visual clarity will be a huge improvement while playing immersive VR games on Quest Pro, $1,500 is a serious investment. And if you have no interest in using VR for productivity or collaboration, buying Quest Pro for gaming alone seems like an overkill. You will be paying for the headset packed with tools and features that, to a large extent, were designed for developers, architects, creators, and not for regular consumers. I mean, take the battery life alone. Only 1 to 2 hours battery life is only good enough for stationary experiences where you can sit at your desk with your headset connected to the power source. Light leak and low FOV are only good for mixed reality experiences where seeing your real world is not a big deal, and in some instances it's even helpful, but not for playing immersive VR games. No DisplayPort, no hot swappable batteries are also a huge disadvantage. Everything is made to cater developers, creators, and collaborators. And sure, you will enjoy the fun full-color mixed reality experiences, crystal sharp visuals, and vivid colors, but this all could be achieved for a lower price in a headset that was targeting VR gamers. In any case, Quest Pro is an upgrade from Quest 2, but say goodbye to your beloved head straps from Bobos and Kiwis, prepare to devise new ways to extend your battery life, and invest in full light blockers. My main hope is that soon developers will be taking advantage of the new technology to create unique experiences, which is still unlikely to justify the $1,500 price tag for this headset, at least for gamers. And I would definitely recommend taking some time and observing which direction the developers will take in creating experiences for this headset before jumping the gun and purchasing it right away without fully understanding what you will use it for. Next, watch my video showcasing in more detail the VR apps that I got to try during the hands-on presentation, and after that I will tell you more about the official and third-party accessories released by Meta for Quest Pro. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time! A couple weeks ago, I was lucky to be invited to
Yeah, wow. There was an amazing video. Tetiana, if you're still watching, I loved that video. Really great video. And yeah, part 2 and 3, people, please do watch it on Tetiana's channel, Disco VR. I'm not going to watch them too here because I still want to watch, still want to react to other creators as well. But this was super exciting and very well made video. Loved it. Tetiana, well done. Please all check out her channel, Disco VR. Fantastic channel. Yeah, and I think it's well, I'm thinking what to think now about the Quest Pro. Because we knew it would be like a business headset, but now that we learn that the controllers only have like 1 or 2 hours battery life, I even think that for engineers, right, it's not long enough. So it's really stationary. They're sitting there on their engineering chairs. Yeah, engineering chairs, right. And then they will do something with it. And everything must be plugged in, the controllers and everything, or they cannot use it. So this is absolutely like zero for gamers, like zero. Like, why would I sell my Quest 2 to get the Quest Pro if the controllers only work for 1 or 1.5 hours, right? And why would I, if I have a Quest 2, buy the controllers by themselves for like $300 if I can only play like maximum 2 hours with them? I totally don't get it. Honestly, why would somebody with a Quest 2 buy those controllers? Well, I will have to check it out by myself, of course, right? But I really don't think this is a headset for gamers at all. Like zero. Before I thought, okay, probably some people will pick it up for better comfort, for better visuals and stuff. But if the controller is only like so short-lived in battery life, that is interesting. Okay. Yeah, not for gamers. Not for gamers. Wow, Pico is going to sell so many of these. Let me know if you agree with that, with a thumbs up. So, let's have a look at the next video. And the next video is from Steve Knows. And Steve knows, he knows, because he also checked out the Quest Pro. And I'm looking forward to watch his video and together with you watch his video. And Steve Knows also has a great YouTube channel. So please also check out Steve Knows. He's on YouTube and you can find him when you look for Steve Knows. Okay. And yeah, I also invited him, by the way, to the Next Dimension podcast. So most probably we're going to have him on the show in one of the next shows. Looking forward to that. So now, let's find his video and let's watch it together. Okay, let me rewind this and let's watch it together.
Hello and welcome to Steve Knows. Today I'm going to share my first impressions of the Quest Pro headset, as I was lucky enough to be part of a select few people to try this out early. I will also do a live stream Q&A on this on Wednesday as well, if you're around, so please join that if you have any questions that I don't answer here. This headset has just been revealed at the Meta Connect event, but this video was made beforehand, so apologies if there's anything missing in this, but this video is absolutely packed. I do have some opinions on this, but this is a first impressions, and I will do a full review once the headset is finally released. So let's check out the Quest Pro, and I would appreciate a subscribe, as this video was a lot of commitment to get this together, and it would be...
He's totally using the same microphone like me. Sure, MV7. Great choice, I like him.
Greatly appreciated. So enough chin wagging, let's get started. So after getting up at 4 AM to travel through the dark like a zombie and jump on a train for a 3-hour journey, stopping for a coffee and of course a bathroom break, and patiently waiting at the Meta headquarters to be herded into a conference room for a very intimate talk about the device and a Q&A session. It became very apparent that the push for this device was not aimed at the VR gaming market, even though we already knew that, they kept saying this. And we helped lift this sector. There was a huge focus on business, but not corporate enterprise, but smaller creative businesses that are interested in new ways to create and work remotely. So this is the box, the packaging, and it's a bit like the Quest 2. They've kept the same theme, so there's not much of interest there. But this is everything that you'll get inside the box, and I will expand on these as I go through the video. So you do have a docking station, and a 2-meter USB-C to USB-C cable for the dock power supply, a separate USB charging point that seems to be for the controllers if you're not using the dock. You also have the controllers, of course, with an Oculus logo, which is pretty cool. Some wrist straps, some rubber nibs that act as a stylus for the controller, the headset itself, some partial inserts for light blocking that connect via a magnet, and a cover for the front panel of the device to make sure that you can get any scratches and you're looking nice and professional when wearing it. So moving on to the specs that I was told at this point, with some very corporate dancing around some certain questions, so I don't have every specific detail, but I will post them down below in the description if Meta announce more at the event. So this headset, as we already knew, has done away with the Fresnel lenses in favor of pancake optics that have allowed for a 40% thinner optic stack, helping reduce the form factor of this headset, and it also allows for an increased field of view. So they have said this is 106 degrees horizontal and 96 vertical, which is not a huge upgrade, but it is a little upgrade still, and you could see the difference using the device thanks to these lovely lenses. They've also said that these pancake lenses provide a 37% increase in perceived pixel.
Okay, so here we have the lenses in close-up. I really love pancake lenses. Yeah, I'm a big fan of them here in the Pico 4. Huge lenses, by the way, and yeah, they look nice. Let's keep on watching.
Pixel density, so the visuals should be clearer on this device. It feels like a workaround because the resolution of this headset remains 1920 by 1830.
That really is so surprising. I was so getting ready for this 2160 by 2160 that we heard before, right? But we do get the same Quest 2 resolution, but now on 2 panels. So yeah, interesting. But, well, as Tetiana said, the lenses make the thing look better. So that's good.
2 per eye, which is the same as the Quest 2. And I must admit, hearing that, it did upset me, especially when a 380 pound
like it,
device,
Steve.
the
Well
Pico
done.
4, which also has pancake lenses,
Yes,
but it also
huge lenses.
has a high resolution display. The display of the Pro is also limited to 90 Hz. So unlike the Quest 2 that can hit 120, this is locked down and will not activate 120 at a later date. It is stuck at 72 or 90 Hz options. I kind of find that baffling that there was this backtrack on a premium device. The display remains an LCD panel, but it contains 2 of them this time, 1 per eye, and it's also backlit by mini LEDs, which reduce the light bleed and provide 75% better contrasting. So colors do pop and the blacks look much darker rather than that grey haze that we see on the Quest 2.
That is good. That is good news. So we have the local dimming zones, which means it's not like one big light panel, which is either on or off. No, you have, if you have something which is bright in the scene, like here, the red lights, this part can be backlit, but the rest doesn't have to. Oh, I'm giving you all the sexy knowledge here. Love this channel a lot. Yeah, so that is good. So that is great that Steve says here that we have like really good blacks. That's good to know.
Due to the way that the LCD panel was backlit. There is definitely a noticeable difference. When I was playing Horizon Workrooms, I was in this beach environment and it was incredibly vibrant. Stuff was popping. But unfortunately, as far as I know, this is not HDR supported. The device is also using a Gen 1 XR2 chip to operate it, but it has better cooling and RAM placement, so it's been able to be clocked, and they said it can produce 50% more power, although other reports have stated a 30% increase. They have coined this Snapdragon XR2 the XR2 Plus. The device will contain 12GB of RAM, and it looks to be only a single model with 256GB of storage. And I thought at least for a professional device, we would have 512, but there's only a single model with 256. The additional overhead of that chip is now going to be useful since this headset does contain eye and face tracking capabilities, but this feature was actually incredible. I got to fiddle around with it being an alien creature where you had the ability to adjust the intensity of your expression, and it just had me in hysterics. Like a small grin became the expression of sadistic excitement. I was able to wink, raise my eyebrows, even blow out my cheeks. I have no doubt people will enjoy this aspect of the device. It was incredibly impressive. I also got
this part I'm truly looking forward to for the first time to meet somebody in VR and both are wearing this. Yes, this is going to be good.
Got to experience this in Horizon Workrooms, and it changed the feeling of presence massively. Being able to see the facial expressions of the person that I was working with or where they were looking, I would say is a definite game changer. It's just unfortunate that you're going to need people to use this headset so they have this feature for us to enjoy, because if you're playing with someone or working with someone on a Quest 2, they're going to be poker facing. If you're worried about privacy here though, they did address saying that the data collected from these tracking features is stored as temporary files on the headset, so it's local only and then deleted after use. The features are also turned off by default once you've got the device, so if you want to use them, you'll have to enable them. The headset battery now, this is where I was lost for words. They have said this is 1 to 2 hours of usage. And it's also where I became confused about who is this device for, because they've been pushing for enterprise, but if you work 8 hours a day, so this is not designed for a day's work, and it's also not designed for regular use because it does not support fast charging.
Oh man, so Steve is so right. This is crazy. If you think about it, for productivity, you do absolutely need more than 1 or 2 hours. Yeah, if you're in a session, probably you are like an engineer and you're working on some model, and then after 1.5 hours, everybody has to stop because you have to charge it. What? Like what? That's crazy. So let's hear about fast charging. Oh no, that was wrong. I need to click here. Sorry. It's a bit late here in Germany already.
So it takes just as long to charge as it does to use. So
wait. It does not have fast charging. Wait. Let me get back to this.
Because it does not support fast charging.
It does not support fast charging?
So it takes just as long to charge as it does to use. So
it takes just as long to charge as it uses it. So you need to charge it for 2 hours, and then you can play for another 2 hours. Wow.
2 hours of usage, 2 hours of charging. They didn't provide me
Wow.
with the exact milliamp hour value, but my assumption is that
What?
it's not much greater than the Quest, but does require additional battery power due to it using pancake lenses, which require additional brightness,
Oh
and also
my
the additional
goodness.
processing power is going to suck some more out of that battery
Oh
as well.
my
So you are
goodness.
losing playtime with this device. But they did say it can be used whilst being plugged in. So if you've got a long enough USB-C cable, you can play with it plugged in. But we don't want
Okay,
that,
at
we want
least.
wireless VR. So one of the biggest features of this headset is the color pass-through in 3D. Not like the Pico 4, which has a single 16 megapixel camera, so you don't have that stereoscopic view, and it's a little bit disorientating, and it's not optimized for mixed reality content. This was much more practical. So on the day, every experience that I tried was a mixed reality experience, and the resolution of these visuals are 4 times higher than the current Quest grayscale, but they didn't give an exact resolution of the output. And it also suffered from the same slight warping issue that you have around your hands when moving around, which must be an issue with the algorithm in translating the camera feeds into a viewable color video. But the experiences themselves and seeing the anchoring of virtual assets showed such incredible potential and practical use cases. Like Horizon Workrooms, I was at a desk in pass-through mode with 3 large monitors that were being emulated. So I had a single laptop in front of me with one screen, nothing else, just an empty desk.
That was the leak, right? That was the immersed leak, right?
And I ended up having the most abundant workstation available. So I had 3 huge monitors, I had a whiteboard,
Yeah,
I
I
had
like
sticky
that.
notes that I could just put
I
up
really
around
like
the
that.
place. And I
Yes.
can see that being very useful for day-to-day work, but because of the battery life, you obviously can't enjoy it for that long. Also, the color pass-through, the visuals were not as high definition as I was expecting, but I was in a dark room with hue lighting just to make it look all fancy during the event.
I would so love to know the comparison between the resolution of the Pico 4 color pass-through and this.
And I know lighting has great effects on the quality of video feeds and camera input, so we'll have
Oh, this command is so good. This is so funny. Nihilist Ryan, the game fell in. Meta really went from having the most economical headset to the least economical in one generation. Yeah, well said. Well said. It's interesting.
to try that again in a well-lit setting to have a final answer on how good that pass-through visual is actually. Some great news
Pico
though,
pass-through
the
is
device
better,
does support
says
Wi-Fi
upload.
6E,
Really?
which is
Wow.
great for wireless PC VR gaming because we get higher bandwidths and a 6 GHz frequency range, which would reduce the latency to and from the router, which would enable higher resolution output and frame rates with playable latency. Because network latency seems to be the biggest strain on wireless PC VR at the moment if you're using the Quest 2 or a Pico headset when you look at the
But honestly, when I play with virtual desktop, both like Quest 2 and Pico 4, I don't have the big latency problem, honestly speaking. I'm actually really fine with this generation with Wi-Fi 6. So what about you? Are you the same like me, or what is going on? Let me know. Oh no, that was wrong again. Yeah, still... No.
stats, especially when you're increasing the quality of the output. Although this feature is not going to be available at launch, they said this should be enabled early 2023. And what could that mean? Could that mean 6 months? 3 months? The headset also has a 3 microphone array with a 20% improvement on background noise cancellation, which is an upgrade because the Quest 2 is a dual mic setup, and let's be honest, the mic on it is not great. The audio system of this headset has also been upgraded as well
to be able to produce an octave lower in the lower regions for a bassier sound.
And I was able to experience this, and it was so much better than the Quest 2, where they were pushing Tribe XR, and I was learning how to be a disc jockey in mixed reality. So I had a DJ deck in front of me, a Pioneer one, whilst in my real-world environment using the color pass-through. And that was pretty cool. I hope to see this used in like a club one day or a festival. I think that would be a pretty novel idea. As this device is aimed at professionals, the sound leakage has been reduced by 10 decibels. So if you're having a conversation or a meeting, or you're playing late at night, people should be able to hear less of what's going on inside your headset. Some great news now around the granular control over the IPD. It no longer has a tiered system like on the Quest 2, and it also has a larger IPD range, ranging from 55mm to 75mm. Now it should be able to cater for so many more people.
Well
and
done,
as well as
Steve.
having more
Well
granular
done
control
on
over
that
the
picture. I
IPD,
like
you
it.
also have control over its depth. So you can move the lenses closer or further away from your face, which will make
Yeah.
people with glasses able to use this
That is
device without
that is
swapping
cool
out
though.
an interface.
That is
But
cool
I found
though. Okay, so it has eye relief. That is very interesting.
myself bringing the lenses as
And by the way, thank you so much, Norman, for the $5. And Norman says, why couldn't even they consider at least 4 hours of battery life? Yep, totally agreed.
close as possible to my face for the best immersion and the best field of view. What's interesting and sad about this device though is it does not come with a facial interface, or at least a full face interface. That will come as a separate purchase for $50.
That is so crazy. You're paying like 1,800 euros in Europe, and then you gotta pay another 50 to get that facial interface. Wow.
Which is painful for us gamers. Add $50 to the price of this device if you want to game in the most immersive way. So it's designed to be used openly, combining mixed reality and the real world. And this is to reduce the effects of motion sickness for people who are new to VR, and also keep you grounded in the real world whilst working. And I did actually enjoy this feature when I was using this for productivity, and it was impressive to see how well aligned the virtual pass-through was to the real world. So I would follow my arm in my peripheral into the virtual space, and it was seamless. So that aspect is actually really impressive, and I do see a use case for this, but I still don't see that as an excuse to not provide an interface here. Because if you want to game with this headset, you need to buy another insert, otherwise it's just going to be so much light bleed. But it does come with these blinders, so you can block out the sides of your view, which do attach via a magnet, so it's easy to put on and pull off, and it's a silicone attachment, so it does not apply any pressure to the face, and you do not get sweaty when using it. And talking about pressure on the face, this comes with a halo strap, which is attached. So if it breaks, I'm not sure what you're going to do. You can't buy another head strap for this device, but it did feel more robust than the Elite strap, so hopefully that does not happen. So the head strap does have a cushion at the back of the device and a twisty knob to
really
tighten
not break.
The back of this head strap is where the battery lives, so it does act as a counterweight on the device, helping with its form factor and weight distribution. But the front part, instead of having a halo strap like the PlayStation VR, which covers your entire forehead, it almost has a lip. And I think this design decision was done because of the eye and face tracking features. It wants to look at your eyebrows, your face, and your eyes, and in order to do that, it can't have something that completely covers your eyebrows, can it? And because of this new head strap design, it won't ruin your hair whilst using the device, and your cheeks will thank you as there's no longer any pressure on them. So the comfort here is a massive improvement in terms of the distribution, how it feels, and the actual weight of the device being 722 grams in total, but the distribution disperses that so it doesn't feel that heavy. So this is definitely heavier than the Pico 4, but it is a definite improvement over the Quest 2. Unfortunately though, this does still leave a red mark. You'll have a nice red bump on your forehead where that lip is taking a lot of the pressure, so it doesn't sit upon your face. So no cheek pain, but your forehead still may have a little red mark if you're using this for 2 hours straight. The headset also has a feature called Fit Finder. This will give you feedback on how the headset is sitting on your head, so you know whether or not the headset is actually on properly. Although I found where I thought it was comfortable, the headset was telling me, no, you need to move it, adjust it, and I thought, no, this is exactly where I want it to be, but maybe my face is strange, who knows. There are also new controllers for this device that provide a full 360 60OF tracking, which is a huge upgrade, bringing the inside-out tracking solution closer to the base station capabilities. The controller has 3 cameras on it, oh, and the Oculus logo, isn't that nice? And maybe in future, full body tracking as well, based on the university research that we saw a while ago, but that would be a while off. So these controllers do actually contain a chipset, a Snapdragon 662, which handles the processing of its 3 SLAM cameras. And because of this, expect the battery life of the controllers to drop massively. The Quest 2 had such great battery life, but this is definitely a step back.
This is a bummer.
They said you can expect it to last as long as the headset does, which is probably why they supplied a dock, because you need to charge this device constantly.
This is crazy.
The controllers also come with a little nib that you can swap out from the wrist strap. This is a rubber stylus, so it allows you to write on the whiteboard or write notes whilst working in the Workrooms app or any other productivity app, and it makes this much easier to write, so it no longer looks like a
What about
4-year-old
force
trying to
feedback?
write
Tell
a
us,
sentence.
please.
The haptics in the remote have also been upgraded with their term True Touch haptics that include localized and VCM haptic upgrades. These controllers, as I have been saying on the channel for a while now, have now been confirmed to be available for the Quest 2 as an additional accessory purchase for a whopping £300. So the same price as the Quest 2 was last year. So you do need to ask yourself, how badly do you want 360 tracking support?
I can tell you, nobody's going to get it. I really don't see a case now to get those controllers for Quest 2 users. If they can only do like maximum 2 hours, it's not enough. It is absolutely not enough. And the thing also is like, you know, I was expecting force feedback, as in like the triggers feel different when you have different guns, just like what we get on the PSVR. That is actually what I was supporting, what I was expecting. But now it seems from the hands-on sessions, it is more like like an HD rumble, probably way better than what we have right now. But it doesn't seem to be that force feedback on the trigger. That's what I get out of this right now. And I don't think anybody would exchange the nice controllers where you never have to exchange the batteries for something that you have to recharge like every 2 hours. Please do let me know in the chat if you agree with my spontaneous, on-the-fly assessment. Right, so let's keep on watching this.
And some better controller haptics. I do find it hard to think it's worth the upgrade, but if money is no object for you and you want a better VR experience, maybe you're into your first-person shooters, this will give you a better competitive edge when bringing the remote closer to your face or grabbing things that are outside the headset view. There are some additional accessories as well that will be available, such as a carry case for $120. There's also a compact
cheap
charger as well, which is a smaller dock for the controllers, and a USB cable for the headset, which is $80. There are also some headphones, so there are audio jacks on this headset that will be $50, and the full light blocker insert for another $50. So this headset in total is $1,500, £1,500, 1,800 euros, which is so
crazy.
steep. Plus
That
all of
is
the accessories,
crazy.
if you want the full kit, you're looking at $1,800, nearly 2,000 euros. And this will be released in 22 countries, ready to be shipped on the 25th of October. That price for me though, it hit me hard due to the battery life limitations, no full facial insert, not a next gen chipset, no improvements on resolution, and the displays can run at 90, not 120 Hz. I do look forward to be able to do a full review on this for virtual reality experiences and PCVR experiences, because everything I tried was a mixed reality productivity application. But overall, this device, it was pretty cool. To be able to try the face tracking and the eye tracking, that was fantastic. The comfort is improved, the pancake optics, the Wi-Fi 6E support, 360 controller tracking, and a better backlit solution of the display for better colors and darker blacks. The headset felt premium as well. So there are some benefits here, but that is a steep price point. But I will hold off on definitive opinions until the full review is out, which I will drop on its release day. And please stick around for the Q&A, which I should be doing tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel. I would appreciate a like and a subscribe. I hope you have a great week. I hope I've answered your questions.
You
Happy
did.
gaming, guys. Good day.
Good day, yes. Yeah, cool. Very cool video. And definitely check out Steve Knows' channel. And we learned something from this. So what shocked me, of course, is the controller battery life of 1 or 2 hours, which I think is much too short. And what also kind of shocked me, honestly speaking, is that there is no quick charging on the device. So you use it for 2 hours, and then you have to put it back into the charging cradle dock, wait for 2 hours, and then you have another session. So no question, for gamers, forget it. For gamers who want to go for long sessions, forget it. No question about it, right? But even for creatives, right? If you want to move around a table and then talk with other engineers, you're working on the CAD model, and then you're nearly there, and then you have to tell your buddies and your coworkers, I'm sorry, my batteries are low. So, yeah, this should be strange. This feels a bit strange. And Gary just said something interesting. He said, like, okay, this should not be judged through the eyes of a gamer. And I agree with you. And we are all gamers, and we look at this and it's like, oh, it's not so exciting. You're right. It should be checked as a business device. And if you're used to something like the HoloLens, probably that costs like $3,000, then this looks appealing, the price, right, of $1,500. Absolutely. Then it will be appealing. But still, it does have quite the shortcomings with the battery lives, right? So, but it's just like such a no-brainer no for gamers. This is what I'm kind of baffled about, because it still has this Quest moniker, right? And Quest simply is like a gaming headset, the Quest 1 and 2. So it's still being called Quest. It made me hope that this could be something for gamers, but like this, it simply is not. It simply is absolutely not. Right? Would you agree with me, people out there? These are my assessments after watching like 2 videos now. And yeah, Mike Newton also says it. For most people, it's an 8 hours workday, right? And well, you only get like 2 hours here maximum. So yeah, okay, Gary, I'm glad that you agree with me that the Quest brand is madness. So I really believe this is not good for their brand, for this Quest brand. Quest was until now, in my opinion, like a really strong brand for gaming. They really have pushed it home hard. Like the Quest 1 and 2, amazing headsets for gaming. And now with Quest Pro, you really expect to get a headset which is great for business. And in my opinion, the MetaConnect keynote was amazing for business. They really hit it home with this Microsoft partnership and all the great things that you can do. It was fantastic. But gamers, yeah, I really thought that gamers could pick this up. But no. Anyways, these are my first reactions. I do want to look through it, of course, right? I want to check it out myself. And the purpose of time says, I was honestly expecting a surprise at £899. Agreed with you. So that was Steve Knows, amazing video as well. And now let's watch another one. Let's now watch from CNet. And that should be a different style, right? Because now we watch the VR YouTubers. So now let's watch something else. Let's watch this here from CNet. So here we go.
Meta's next VR headset, the Quest Pro, is $1,500. Why? Well, let me get to that. I got to take a look at this in depth at Meta's Reality Research Labs in Redmond. So I went out there to take a look at future tech demos and also to look at this headset that's coming out this fall, October 25th. The Quest Pro is not a true sequel to the Quest 2 that's been out there for 2 years. This VR headset is designed for a different market. You can figure that out from the price. This is meant for business people, and this is meant for pro users. And it is also a sign of where Meta is going with its VR, but also its AR. When I tried it out, I was pretty surprised that it reminded me of a lot of headsets that I've tried before, in a good way. First of all, it reminds me of the Quest 2 because this is a headset that uses VR. But it also reminds me of AR headsets, like Microsoft's HoloLens 2 in particular, because this can do mixed reality. This is something that I've seen in other high-end VR headsets. Last year I tried the Vario XR3 that used LiDAR, scanned the world, and showed me virtual objects overlaid with the real world through pass-through cameras. The Quest Pro does the same type of thing, but in a standalone headset. It has color pass-through cameras that can scan and depth map the world, kind of like you can do on your phone for AR, and you can get a picture of your room that's shown on the display that feels basically real time and feels like you're sort of looking around, but in lower resolution. Then you drop virtual objects in there, and it feels like you're starting to have those types of AR experiences. All the demos that I tried on the Quest Pro, for the most part, were mixed reality experiences, probably to show off those features for a reason. The Quest Pro is slimmer, and it feels lighter to wear. It has a new type of display called...
that's interesting. It really looks slim. Right. That's everything I wanted to say.
Pancake optics that slims down the front and makes it more like a visor. The best thing about the Quest Pro headset, for my eyes, was that it slid over my glasses. Finally, my big glasses did not get...
Okay, that's interesting. So glasses wearers can simply wear this. This was a problem for the Quest 2, where, yeah, it was not so easy to wear glasses.
...get in the way. The visor fit reminded me a lot of the HoloLens 2, where the headset just dropped over the front and didn't have any extra goggle bits to jam up and block my glasses. For glasses wearers, that could be really huge. The display also has a wider field of view, better pixel resolution, and more contrast.
Better pixel resolution? That is interesting because we just learned that it has exactly the same resolution.
Basically, it feels really good to look at, But the interesting thing is that this VR headset does not have any light blockers on the sides. It comes with a couple that you can pop on, but it's actually meant to be used with the world around you being kind of visible from the sides. I thought that was weird at first, but if you're using mixed reality, looking through that visor, it felt like I was looking through a window that was continuing the real world, like a...
Okay, I can just say Lynx R1 from France. I'm looking forward to try your headset. Stan, get in touch with me, please.
Big pair of glasses. And it created this effect that if I could see in my peripheral vision what was going on, I could then see also the regular world and drop things in it, paint in it, mix things like a DJ, and feel like I had not taken a trip to another virtual place, that I was dropping them in the space I was in. The lenses can also adjust for depth in and out, plus they can move to adjust a wider range of interpupillary distance, or IPD, which could help people with differently shaped eyes. This has a couple of technologies too that are very new to the VR landscape. One is eye tracking. Eye tracking is going to be on the PlayStation VR 2, which I also tried earlier this year.
This guy can try all the good stuff that I also want to try.
And Meta is using it for social interactions. It can also be used to improve the graphics in games and apps through a technology called foveated rendering, which improves the resolution only where you're looking. But Meta says that technology may not be as useful for standalone VR headsets because it also burns more energy to use. So it sounds like a lot of that stuff may not be turned on till later. But the face tracking stuff, and also this headset can track the rest of your face too, not just your eyes, is used for emotional interactions and avatar things. I got to try a demo where I was in Horizon Workrooms, Meta's workspace metaverse app, and I sat across from somebody else who was also using the headset. And I could see them blinking their eyes and smiling and doing all these things that they were using the face tracking for. It was a little bit weird, a little uncanny, and a little bit glitchy. And that's one thing I had a question about, is how much it might make you look kind of weird. But when I did a second demo that showed me a larger control interface with a more advanced alien-type avatar that was meant to demonstrate how many different facial controls there could be, I saw things like cheek puffing and ways to curl your lip or wink or do this. And as I started to do them, I realized there's a lot of stuff that avatars could start taking advantage of. And it may mean that a lot of apps may start updating to take advantage of that. But how many really? Because face tracking is only going to be on a select few headsets. The rest of the people using VR are not able to track their faces. And it's going to create an interesting question.
Okay, guys, sorry. Very sorry to stop this because I've just reached 70,000 subscribers! Woohoo! Party! Woohoo! Thumbs up for 70,000 subscribers. Yes! This was really more exciting now. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to the video. I'm pretty happy about 70,000 subscribers. Let's go back to the video. Oh, so nice, so nice. This is a very good channel, by the way, if you didn't know that yet. If I sound a bit tired, it's because it's late here in Germany.
And of who can have those facial expressions and who can't. It's clearly a technology that Meta may end up putting on more of their headsets, but it's a stepping stone for now. Eye tracking and face tracking also bring up questions of data privacy. How is that going to be used? Now, right now, Meta is making those features apparently ones that you turn on.
70,002.
And are not on by default. And apps have to ask permission to activate those features. Meta also made a point for us at our trip that this stuff is encrypted locally and stored locally on the device and wiped over time. Still a lot of questions, though, about if apps use this eye and face tracking data, even if it's encrypted locally. How could it be used, and how could it maybe be utilized in ways that we couldn't anticipate? I don't know, because I've only used this headset for a couple of hours. The other things that are new on the Quest Pro are the controllers. The controllers are totally redesigned, and they almost look more like the controllers I've seen on AR headsets, specifically the Magic Leap 2, which just came out. They ditched the ring that you've seen on the regular Quest controllers, and they're just these little handheld grips. and they feel denser, but they feel pretty similar to what I've been using before. But these controllers have their own built-in cameras. They track the world and don't require any of the built-in headset cameras that are on the Quest Pro, which means you could use them behind your back or turn around and they could not lose tracking. In the few demos I tried, the tracking seemed to hold pretty well. That is also something that the Magic Leap 2 controller uses, so it may be a trend that we start seeing going forward. This also has much better haptics. Now, haptics are the rumbling thing that you find inside your controller or in your phone or your watch. On the PlayStation VR 2, which I tried recently, had fantastic realistic haptics for feeling bows and arrows and weapons and even rumbling in the headset. The MetaQuest Pro has a similar type of feeling in that I could paint and actually feel ripples of the paintbrush against the canvas when I was painting. Or if I was drawing on a piece of paper using a stylus I was holding, I could feel kind of scratchy feedback. That's where the haptics could be really useful for productivity, to be able to know when you're touching something and when you're not. And speaking of writing, a crazy weird thing.
Okay, so it seems like this is not really forced feedback. This is not what we get from the DualSense controller. This is actually what I was hoping for, right? Something that, just like the PSVR 2 is going to have, and the PS5 with those nice adaptive trigger. So it seems I was wrong, and we're not getting that. So that is a bit sad. So I don't think I don't think people are going to pay $300 for these controllers to use them on the Quest 2. Yeah, by the way, 70,005 subscribers. Ha 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 ha! Yeah, let's keep on watching this.
On the controller is it actually turns into a stylus. There are stylus tips that come with it that attach to the bottom of the controller and allow you to hold it like a big chunky pen and be able to write with it. Now the Quest 2 already does that with Horizon Workrooms, where you can hold the controller upside down like that. But that stylus tip really made it feel much more like I was writing. The Quest Pro controllers added another nifty feature, which is that there's a pinch function on the side. There's a pressure-sensitive panel that you can press down on along with the trigger and feel like you're squeezing objects when you push your fingers together. The Quest Pro is a couple...
Wait. That I have to... let's check again. There's like a pinch thing. What? Let's watch this again. This is interesting, I think.
On the side, there's a pressure-sensitive panel that you can press down on along with the trigger and feel like you're squeezing objects when you push your fingers together.
Okay.
The Quest Pro has a couple of other useful things. First of all, it charges from its own built-in dock, which is new, and the controllers recharge from it as well. Those controllers are going to be sold separately, so if you have a Quest 2, you could also buy those for $300, which is almost the cost of a Quest 2 headset. So that's a lot. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be worth it. The question I have now, looking at the Quest Pro, wearing it, and demoing it for all these different things, is what comes next? Is this a headset that is bridging to augmented reality? Is this kind of Meta's bridge device? And I think it is, because when I came away from using it, I thought more about Magic Leap and HoloLens than I thought about VR. And when you look at that market, where you have $2,000, $3,000 headsets designed for business, maybe the Quest Pro is designed to compete with those. And as Meta works out more of its AR headset plans, it starts to evolve that into being something that's for that use, where people are used to paying thousands of dollars. Now it's at that bridge point where $1,000, $1,500 almost feels like something someone might buy potentially, but it's so much money that I can't really say if it's worth it. And the battery life is also a concern. Apparently 1 to 2 hours, which is not that much and sounds a bit less than the Quest 2. It sounds like something that you're meant to be tethering with while using and designed to maybe be sitting down and using. I think you have to kind of make that decision for yourself, whether you use VR that much for productivity and want to be in Meta's ecosystem to make that worthwhile. Another interesting thing about the Quest Pro is that it has a whole new chip, a Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 Plus, which is supposed to have 50% more processing power. Now, the Quest 2 and other VR headsets right now are using the XR2. Maybe this is a stepping stone to the next generation, or is there going to be an even better chip down the line? Interesting that it has a whole new processor, though. And that brings up the question of when we're going to see a Quest 3. We're not seeing a Quest 3 right now. There will be a Quest 3 at some point. It looks like Meta's trying to stagger the Pro and the consumer headsets so that if you're really thinking about getting the next everyday VR headset, don't think about this one. Think about the one that'll probably be coming maybe next year. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, is this interesting to you? Do you feel like AR or any of these things would be useful? Let me know down below, and make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Okay, thank you, dear CNet. I was just thinking like, okay, well, if you are a consumer and if you're thinking about to get something for consumers, well, probably you might want to look at the Pico 4 right now. And I did see some people in chat who were like, okay, I feel the strange sensation of suddenly wanting a Pico 4. Wow. Exciting stuff, and interesting what we learned from the device. So it still strikes me so hard, the battery life, right? The 1 to 2 hour battery life for a device that is meant for work, where you should be, at your work and probably working for more than 1 or 2 hours, right? Or, dear boss, today only 1 or 2 hours. Yeah, because the headset dies. Or you have to use it wired. So your wireless headset becomes a wired headset. And that is truly, underwhelming, I must say. That is what I feel right now. And I'm just letting you know about my reactions after watching all these interesting videos. So definitely the gamers out there, they will be disappointed by this, without a doubt. For business people, for businesses who are now using the HoloLens 2, for them, actually the $1,500, it feels kind of good, not bad, right? But also hindered by the battery life. I think the Lynx R1 from France is looking kind of more exciting right now for many of these businesses who are looking to exchange their HoloLens 2. But absolutely have to look through it. So I must tell you what also was missing, in my opinion, from the Meta Connect was the outlook. The outlook for Quest 3. I was at least hoping for Meta to say something like, and you know what? Just wait for half a year longer to get the Quest 3. You don't need the Pico 4, right? You can simply go for the Quest 3. But we didn't hear anything from it. And you know, the one thing that really made me excited about that I thought it was really amazing for the Quest Pro is the face tracking and the eye tracking. The face tracking and eye tracking look incredible, right? When you are in the workrooms and you meet somebody else who has these kind of this headset, the Quest Pro, and wow, it seems like this meeting could be way better than what is possible right now. So I would be excited if this feature comes to the Quest 3. So it's going to be accessible for all of us, right? But if the leaks from Bradley are true, it would mean that the Quest 3 does not have face tracking, does not have eye tracking. So it means only people who go for the Quest Pro, which is like really an expensive device for most people, especially if you're in Europe, well, 1,800. Only they will be able to use these kind of cool avatar features, which is kind of sad. And I would miss that on the Quest 3, honestly speaking, if it would really not have the eye tracking and the face tracking. So for us gamers, I truly think nobody's going to pick this up. I truly don't think people are going to try to do something like this, like mod the Bobo VR thing onto the Quest Pro. It would look funny, right? I don't think it's going to happen, these kind of things. So I do not think that lots of us gamers are going to pick this up. In terms of business, yes, I can see businesses picking this up for sure, right? The Microsoft integrations are super exciting, that's for sure. And for business, they're ticking like a lot of boxes, other than battery life. But other than that, it is pretty interesting. Yeah, in my opinion, in my opinion, right now, what is interesting is that Pico really has a window of opportunity right now to really get into the market, right? So in Europe and in Asia, the time until the Quest 3 is launched, wow, people will want the Pico 4, right? So this is Pico's huge window of opportunity right now. So in my opinion, they should try to approach the US market as soon as possible because, well, that window of that window of opportunity is probably going to close once the Quest 3 is out. I believe. We don't know yet, but right now is the time for Pico to sell as many headsets as they can. Right. So I think Christmas 2022, this Christmas, is going to belong to the Pico 4. Yeah, would love to know your opinion. Would really love to know your opinion about that. So these are my reactions. What else? Well, let's talk a moment about the gaming section of the Meta Connect. We heard about what did we hear about? Behemoth, right? In the very end of it. We heard about Iron Man, an old PSVR title. We heard about Among Us, which is for sure going to be cool. And I think that's it, right? Or did we hear about anything else? We did not hear about Grand Theft Auto. That is what I was waiting for. I was waiting for Grand Theft Auto, but we didn't hear anything about it. And I was streaming this whole show to the German audience, and we were all just like shocked, honestly speaking. like wow, what's going on, right? It was not exciting us. So yeah, that's truly everything that I can say about it. I was not excited. Yep, have to see what's going to happen. Yeah, my dear friends, it is super late now. Here, 12:30, and I hope that you enjoyed my live reaction videos for the Meta Connect, for the Quest Pro. Definitely not a device for gamers, but yeah, probably businesses are going to pick this up. Yeah, other than that, I'm very happy to tell you that I have now 70,007 subscribers, and I'm most probably now going to have an adult beverage to celebrate this. I think this is the most amazing thing that is coming out here of this live stream. And if you want to congratulate me for the 70,007 subscribers, please give it a thumbs up, and absolutely do leave a comment in the comment section for the algorithm and for 70,007 subscribers. Yep, great. I'm going to enjoy the adult beverage now. Hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up. Please subscribe. We want to get to the 100,000 as soon as possible, right? And I'm looking forward to bring you the review of the Quest Pro. I gotta pay 1,800 for it if Meta doesn't send it to me. And I'm looking forward to do that. See you soon. Bye-bye. Until then. Yeah, that was a bit weird of an ending, right?